Hello everyone, myself Vaibhav. In today's session, we are seeing that most of the equity indices are trading higher, and yesterday's gains are still intact. And in today's session, we are seeing addition to that. And as the things stand, we are likely to see a fresh breakout on the higher side. The 11,500 levels are being breached, and I think the recent swing highs are next for the Nasdaq, and that's why today's title for market movers is the breakout looms for the Nasdaq. If you consider the data docket, we didn't really get many releases for the day. Apart from these two important releases so far, earlier in the day during the European trading hours, we got this Germany's trade balance data, and here the trade balance is still in surplus for the Germany, but the amount has actually declined, and now for this month the trade surplus is at euro 12.8 billion, and it is a lot lower compared to the expectations of more than euro 16 billion worth of trade surplus. Moving on to the North American trading session, just a while back we got the US initial jobless claims, and there is a slight decline here. And now for the week ended 3rd of October, we have the initial jobless claims at 840,000, and this is one more week where the initial jobless claims have been below 1 million, but still the magnitude is a lot higher, and this kind of signifies the pandemic's impact where a lot of people have been rendered jobless, and we are still far away from the normalcy. Now let's shift our attention to the technical segment. Here we will cover the Nasdaq, and then we will also take a look on the currency segment where we will have the technical outlook for Euro USD. Let's start with the equity index of the Nasdaq first. This is the daily time frame chart for the Nasdaq, and after a long consolidation, we are seeing fresh possibilities emerging for the Nasdaq. And if you consider the price action for last couple of sessions, the Nasdaq has been trading in a range of around 300 to 400 points. And as things stand, as I said in the opening remarks also, the probability is pretty strong that the Nasdaq will move past this prior swing high, and we will be seeing the Nasdaq inching closer to the 12,000 levels in coming sessions. So today is the day where we can strategize for this possibility and see if there are some levels which we can target for the optimum entry and exit point. If you consider the prior moves here, this bullish undertone has been visible for last couple of months now, and this correction which started around 12,500 was pretty swift, and then this almost month long consolidation, and now finally we are pretty much ready for the second leg of this rally, which is likely to take the Nasdaq on the again bullish ride. Coming to the lower time frame charts of 4 hourly, we have these two indicators which are pointing to the continuation of the upward momentum in the Nasdaq. The regression curve has now bent sharply on the upper side, and also if we consider the pivot point series, the Nasdaq's price action has been finally able to breach this immediate resistance zone, and as of now it has been consolidating on the higher side. It has been able to hold the ground and stay above this immediate resistance zone, which also signifies the break on the upper side. And now that this prior swing high stands breached, that opens up the new possibilities for the continuation of the upward momentum in the Nasdaq, and the immediate target then comes closer to this first resistance, which is there around 12,300. The prior swing high is also not far away from those levels, but as is our outlook, we mostly go for the short to medium term targets, and we don't really need to wait for the Nasdaq to rise to these 12,300 levels. For us, we will be pretty much looking for the short term intraday to say for a couple of days of trade opportunities where we have to keep the trade open for not more than 2 to 3 days. And to that extent, all we have to take into consideration is this confluence zone, which is likely to act as a near-term support area for the Nasdaq. So here we have these 50, 100 and 200 SMAs converging around 11,400, and at the moment the price action is more than 1 percentage point away from that price zone. But I feel that we should wait for fresh breakout formation of the fresh swing high on the higher side. So we will be in a position where we will have the confirmation of the formation of the higher highs, and also if we see on the lower side, the immediate swing low has also been higher than the prior swing low. So you can say that we have the formation of higher highs and higher lows, and then in such scenarios, if we are fortunate enough to see some correction in the Nasdaq, maybe in a coming session or a day or two, then in such scenario we should target the entry point closer to this SMA zone. We should be looking at the fresh entry anywhere close to this 50 SMA, and as things stand, we are likely to see this continuation of the upward momentum where we can keep the stop loss closer to this immediate swing low. So for fresh positioning, if we are going to go for any entry anywhere in the price band of 11,400 to 11,450, we can keep the stop loss closer to 11,250, and for a risk of around 150 to 200 points, we can target almost 300 to 350 points on the higher side, and that will get us the target price closer to the 11,800. And I think those levels are likely to be reached in next couple of sessions, if not weeks. Now moving on to the currency segment, here we will see the Euro USD's technical prospects, and basically Euro USD has also been in the consolidation phase, and looking at the chart you can get the idea that Euro USD is actually at the crossroad, and any break on the either side is likely to guide the traders for next couple of sessions. For the time being, it has been trading in a range bound manner, and that has made our job kind of difficult. If we see the broader picture, the momentum is still bullish, but you can say that after this extended rally, the time for correction is also due. So, from that perspective, we have to be cautious while looking for the fresh trading opportunities in the Euro USD. Coming to the lower time frame chart of the 4 hourly, here we have the resistance zone in play around 1.178, and in today's session the Euro USD has struggled to cross above that, and as we can see in last couple of hours we have seen it dipping after touching the highs closer to 1.178, and that is raising the fresh question mark on the strength of the bullish momentum in the Euro USD. We have already seen last 2 days the Euro USD has been trading in a very narrow range between 1.17 to 1.18, and here we are likely to see the trend determining price move in next session or two. So to that extent, we have to see what are the levels where we can think about getting involved for the fresh trading opportunities. If we consider the regression curve after this prolonged consolidation phase, it has slightly bent on the upside, but given the fact that we don't really have a clear cut break above the central pivot point, makes the water quite muddled. Now coming to the lower time frame chart of hourly, if we simply join the prior swing highs and prior swing lows, we get this upward moving price trajectory, and as of now, the Euro USD's price action is hovering close to this lower band of this upward trajectory, and also if we consider the SMA formations, all these three key SMAs are still pointing to the continuation of the upward momentum. So for Euro USD's trajectory for next couple of sessions, we have to watch out for this price action closer to this immediate support area. And I feel if the Euro USD is able to hold above 1.175 and we don't really see a fresh break below this immediate support zone, in that scenario we are pretty much likely to see the continuation of the upward momentum, and then the Euro USD is most likely to gear up for the fresh move towards 1.18 or even beyond that. But if in today's session, if we get the fresh break below this immediate support level and the price moves closer to this 200 SMA, which is there around 1.173, then I think the trajectory is likely to change for the Euro USD, and we will do better to adopt to the changing circumstances and start looking for the fresh short selling opportunities. So watch out for the US session and how things shape up in today's US session. If we don't really see any fresh break below this immediate swing low and support zone, we are pretty much likely to see the fresh move on the upper side. But as I said, if we get the break below this support zone, then the trajectory is likely to change, and then we will be in a position to target the possible move towards 1.17 or even below that. So that's it from my side for today's session. If any of you have any query or any idea to share, you can write it in the comment section and I would be more than happy to take the discussion forward. Before I sign off, I would also like to remind of the risk associated with trading in the financial instrument, and one should be careful while using the information provided. Have a fabulous day ahead. Goodbye.